Who is the most talented entertainer of all time? Who is the worst US president ever? Technically, who's the greatest rapper of all time? And technically, who's the worst rapper of all time? All these questions and much more will be answered as we crown the one of four. There is an adage that you can learn a lot about a person by the shoes he wears. As far back as I can remember, the first day of school was unofficially considered Shoe Day. Who was wearing what brand, in what color, by what athlete? And through time, we've seen the evolution of the sneaker. But which is the most iconic sneaker of all time? Webster's dictionary defines iconic as something widely known and acknowledged, especially for distinctive excellence. The criteria I will use in finding the most historic sneaker of all time will be the style of the shoe, the overall lasting impact of the shoe, and the performance of the athlete the year the shoe was created. The 2011-2012 LeBron Nines by Nike. And this year, LeBron James averaged 27 points, 2 steals, 6 assists, and 8 rebounds a game. He was an all-star, an MVP, league MVP, and he won the NBA championship and was the MVP in that championship. I remember this year because there were so many colors of this sneaker. You had the original LeBrons, you had the Christmas Day LeBrons, and you had the playoff LeBrons. Not to mention, this was his first NBA championship. So that puts more of a historical imprint on these sneakers. And that introduced him into the conversation of being one of the greatest basketball players of all time. Now, I'm going to put the LeBron Nines up against the '89 Bo Jacksons by Nike. Now, I remember this shoe because in school, it's like everyone had them. And to this day, I still see people wearing this sneaker. They have so many colorways of this sneaker, and it's a great design. Now, the design is great, but what about the athlete wearing them? In 1989, Bo Jackson played baseball and football.
Jackson wears baseball and football, and you did football.
Yes, I played the Gipper, but I also played for real in a much earlier time. But that Bo down there, that's a pretty interesting hobby he has for his vacation. When baseball ends, he winds up playing football. I don't know if there's ever been anyone doing it.
Hey, he's remarkable, and look at that one. Bo Jackson says hello.
He was an all-star in the MLB, and he rushed for 950 yards that year. And his longest rush was 92 yards.
People tell me all the time that they've never seen a running back your size with the speed that you have. And it never fazed me because I've been doing it all my life, running.
He should have been a Pro Bowler that year. And if anybody who has ever played Tecmo Bowl, you know that if you run with Bo Jackson, you are bound for a touchdown. Now, between these two sneakers, I'm going to be very honest with you. I don't like the style of the LeBron Nines. They kind of look like a sneaker boot hybrid. And I don't see a lot of people wearing these sneakers. But these Bo Jacksons from '89 till now, I see sneakerheads still buying this sneaker. They have so many different colors. And this was the campaign of Bo Knows. So with all that being said, I'm going to give the nod to the 89 Bo Jacksons by Nike. Next, we have the 1995-1996 Air Jordan. This is the year that Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls won 72 games. And he put out my Supersonics.
563 Bulls. With 4.5 to go, the curtain came down. Sean Kemp fouled out after 18 points and 14 boards. And then Jordan to Pippen. Unbelievable. 87-70. The closing moments as the Bulls skate towards another championship.
In 6 games. Now this sneaker, I've seen almost everybody wear it. From Will Smith when he was on the Fresh Prince. I always loved the white on white with that baby blue bottom. You had the black and you had the red on the bottom. You had the Space Jams and you had the original OGs. These sneakers, I mean, what else can you say about it? This is the first time I saw patent leather put onto a sneaker. If there was a sneaker before this, I didn't see it. And if it was, then this paled it in comparison. Now, I haven't even gotten to the stats for Jordan during this season. 30 points per game. He had 2.2 steals per game, 6 rebounds per game, and gave you about 4 assists a game. He was an all-star. He was MVP that year, and he was finals MVP all this season wearing that sneaker. Now, I'm going to be totally honest with you. This next sneaker is a bit of a surprise. I wanted to do Deion Sanders. He had like this 92 Nike, the Diamond Turf, and he had a 93 Diamond Turf. Love the sneaker, but his stats weren't aligned to kind of put it in this conversation of the most iconic sneaker. But I am going to give you Hakeem Olajuwon, 1993-94 season. In this season, he won Defensive Player of the Year, Season MVP, and Finals MVP all in the same year. Now again, nobody really knows this sneaker. The sneaker, in my opinion, doesn't look that bad, but I will say the year that he had wearing this sneaker was a historic season. Off the top of my head, I can't think of another NBA player that won Defensive Player of the Year, MVP, and Finals MVP all in the same year. So with that alone, I will put the Hakeem Olajuwon by Spalding up against this iconic Jordan sneaker. It's a no-brainer. We already know who's going to win this one. Jordan by a landslide. Even though I feel like Hakeem Olajuwon had a better individual season, the sneaker is forever lasting. So now we come to the finals. We have the 89 Bo Jackson by Nike versus the 95-96 Jordan by Nike. Now, as you guessed it, the Air Jordan's going to win. I mean, why even drag this out? This sneaker is, I've seen people wear tuxedos with this sneaker. Again, the colorways. People stand in long lines to get this sneaker. I mean, let alone Jordans, but this individual sneaker. The resale value of the sneaker. I've seen this sneaker online going up to $900. So that goes to show the impact this sneaker had and has still to this day. So with all that being said, we're going to give the crown. The most iconic sneaker of all time is the Jordan 95-96. If I missed the sneaker, please leave a comment below. Again, like, subscribe. I've got more videos coming. And if you want to dispute anything that I've said during this video, again, leave a comment. Until next time, peace.